Hi guys, it's Miko Martinez, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to build powerful backlinks that actually move the needle. Backlinks that actually improve your rankings, traffic, and revenue. If you don't know who I am a Shopify SEO expert. I've been in the SEO industry for over 6 years now. I've worked on over 200 projects, and I've helped scale some of them to over 7 figures in annual revenue. So let's get to the video. How to build backlinks that move the needle. So the first thing you need to do is you need to decide your target pages, right? Decide which pages you actually want to link to. So for the first 3 months of a campaign, we usually do something like 50-50 or 75-25, somewhere in between that, between the homepage and your low-hanging fruit pages. The reason we want to do that is twofold. Number one, we want to point a lot more backlinks to the homepage because we want to juice up that homepage. And on your homepage, you do feature your most important pages, key pages on your homepage anyway. So that link juice will basically flow out towards the rest of the site. And then the rest, 25 to 50%, targeting low-hanging fruit pages or pages that are ranking in the bottom of page 1, top of page 2, just because those are the ones that will get you an ROI as soon as possible. If you send backlinks to those pages, there's a possibility that you can push those to top 3. And when they're in the top 3, yeah, you get more traffic, you get more revenue. And, if that revenue translates into profits, the profits can be used to build even more backlinks, and you start creating this flywheel effect where, you're ranking for more things. So you're generating more revenue. Because you're generating more revenue, you can invest more in more backlinks. And because you're investing more backlinks, it goes back and generates more traffic, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the ideal setup. Before number two, you actually have to think about tweaking that strategy over the next few months, depending on your competition and the results you've seen. So the first 3 months, you can just do 50-50, 75-25, somewhere between that. But after a few months, you want to take your strategy based on your competition. So you go natural. So for example, if your competition is the soapery, you want to look at their backlink profile. We filter the backlinks that actually matter to us, right? So we do follow the R30, domain traffic from 1K. You can apply more filters, you can be more strict, you can be more loose. But this is typically what we like to look at. So they have 66 groups of links. And then what you want to do is you want to look at the target URL and then classify them. Here it's blog post, here's the collection page, product page, home page. You basically want to classify them into these different buckets to see what the ideal proportion is, right? Or percentages for the homepage, for the shopping pages, for the blog posts, etc. Okay. And then, tweak your strategy based on that. Okay. And then number 2 is you want to vet your backlinks, right? So here we use these filters. These are typically filters that we use. We also want to make sure the backlink is topically relevant. There's 3 ways it can be relevant. There's domain relevance. There's article level relevance. So the domain isn't relevant, but the article is relevant. And number 3 is there's sentence level relevance, right? So it doesn't matter if the domain is not relevant. It might not even matter if the article isn't relevant. As long as you have sentence level relevance, it will still pass juice. But domain level relevance is ideal. And then article level relevance, and then sentence level relevance. Because again, if you can get a link from Forbes, you won't care if you're not domain relevant. You won't care if it's not article relevant. But as long as you have sentence level relevance, that link from Forbes will still pass link juice. So those are the 3 levels of relevance. Again, you want it on websites with traffic. You want to make sure that the page is not orphaned, because if it's orphaned, it doesn't have any link juice, right? Like the link juice from the other domain doesn't pass number. And you don't want it to be from a link farm or a PBN. You don't want any outgoing links to casino, adult, or payday loan sites. Okay. So do vet your backlinks. Number 3, so prospecting. So where do you find backlinks? Who do you reach out for a backlink? So number 1, the best way is always looking at your competitor's backlink profile. So we did that with the soapery. Again, imagine if soapery is your competitor. You want to look at their backlinks. You want to reach out to every single one of these guys and ask for the backlink. Always the first thing we look at. If your competitor has this backlink, you should probably have it as well. 2, you can use tools like Ahrefs or SEMrush to find link opportunities. My team actually uses SEMrush, but I'm used to using Ahrefs, so I use Ahrefs. So other ways to look for backlink opportunities is to, obviously look at the competitors. Another way is to actually look at who's linking to them, right? So let's look at 5 Little Doves. You can kind of think okay, this site sells backlinks, right? So you kind of want to look at or you can look at which other sites are they linking to, right? So you can do linked domains, and you can kind of assume like possibly like do follow, and then kind of sort by the lower DR. And then like you can look through this list and kind of like look for relevant sites, right? So this is an essential oil site. So you can maybe want to do something more beauty, lifestyle. So you want to look for sites like that. Let's just look for one that makes sense. But let's look for one with decent traffic as well. So let's do let's do domain traffic. Like let's do a domain traffic filter and DR 30 to, let's just say 60. You can see, let's look for something simple. Maybe this, okay, nursery. Let's see if that makes sense. Let's look for, let's open another one to find something that makes sense as well. Beards and daisies. Maybe. Let's see if this makes sense. Buy plants and trees online. Okay. I don't know how relevant that is, but you know that they're doing well in terms of SEO. They could probably be doing some active link building. Again, you want to look for the most, sites that are most relevant to your site. So you want to look at your competitor sites, then relevant sites, and then just look at their backlink profile, right? And apply the same filters, domain traffic 1,000. This is a larger site with, I think, more backlinks, one per domain. And then, yeah, there you go. You can scrape these as well and, try to reach out to these sites for backlinks. Same can be done for beards and daisies. So yeah, plant and flower delivery, somewhat similar-ish, I guess. You can do the same thing again. You can go to the backlinks, filter to the backlinks that actually moves the needle, right? Then domain, and then there you go. You have a list of 109 you can reach out to as well, right? And you just want to keep doing that process over and over again until you have like an infinite list of prospects, okay? Okay, number 4, get the contact details of your prospects. So you could either, number 1, use tools like Snow.io or Hunter.io. We've used both in the past. We currently use Snow.io. Or you can actually manually check your prospect site for their details, right? So let's look at 5 little doves again. Let's go to the actual site this time. And you can see that there's a connect with me button here, and it has their email. So that's an easy way to actually get the contact details. But because it's manual, it can take time versus using a tool like Snow.io or Hunter.io. You can upload all the domains and it'll spit out the contact information. So yeah, it depends really on whether you have more time or if you have the budget to invest in these tools. Okay, next. Number 5, you want to reach out to your prospects. So you want to craft a compelling message your prospects will want to open and reply to, right? So we actually have some examples here. This is our training on guest posts and niche edits. This is available in our Shopify SEO school community. So if you want to go over this full thing, it's available there. It's very comprehensive. It's like almost, I think it's over 50 slides of basically how to build guest posts and niche edits with like, message templates, the exact process on how we prospect, et cetera, right? So when you craft the message, you want to make sure it's personal. You want to ask questions. You kind of want to use some humor and mix and match these tactics to make your message unique. Because I'm sure if you've been in the SEO industry for a while, you've seen a lot of these backlink or guest post outreach messages, and they're all very templatized. They're all very simple, and they don't stand out, right? So if you're reaching out to someone who's already, wants to sell guest posts, it might work. But for those real sites, that aren't just guest post farms or link farms, you need to make your message more unique so it stands out amongst all these other outreach messages, right? So you want to personalize it, ask questions, be funny, and mix and match that, okay? We have a, template that you can use. I don't recommend using this template because, again, if it's templatized, if it's generic, it won't work. But yeah, if you want a foundation to start with, this is what you can use. This is not what we use. We like to personalize our emails. This is a template you can use. Quick question, first name, quick question, very common, right? Body, I'm X. I'm named person I'm featuring from X.com. And I wanted to ask, would you be interested in featuring a guest post on your website? I'm keen to share my expertise on topics with your readers. All I'd ask for return is a simple backlink to my site. I assure you, I will follow all your editorial guidelines, ensuring everything aligns perfectly with your site standards. Do you think this could work for us? I'm all in for a collaboration that benefits both our sites. Let me know what you think. Thanks. name domain. Again, this is very generic and templatized, so do not use this. It probably won't work very well unless you're reaching out to someone already actively wanting to sell guest posts. Okay? Generic guest post templates everywhere. Everyone uses them. So yeah, ideally you personalize it, ask questions, try to be funny, right? I can tell you countless of stories where we started off with a joke and the person replied just because, it was different because they found it funny. Okay. Next, sending the emails. Oh, wait, no. So obviously you want to craft a compelling message, but you also want to send these messages in bulk without getting flagged as spam. We'll teach you that in the next step. The next thing is also managing your inbox and replies to maximize your link opportunities, because if you're sending out thousands of these emails, you'll get a lot of replies, and you need to make sure you manage those replies so that you're maximizing your link opportunity. So sending the emails, when it comes to sending the emails, we can use tools, right? You don't want to send these emails manually because the reply rate is actually much lower than you think. So you want to send thousands and thousands of these emails. You can use tools like Instantly, Snove, as I mentioned earlier, Lendlist, Gmass. We currently use Instantly, but we've heard good things about Smartly. The difference is probably very minimal. So you can probably either will work. Yeah, we currently use Instantly, and it's working really well for us. Replying and closing. Okay. So when someone, replies to your cold outreach email, you want to vet the backlink one last time to make sure that it's actually a quality backlink. You want to negotiate the terms. You want to get a good price, because a backlink can be good, but if it's too expensive, it doesn't make sense financially, then yeah, there's no deal there. And then the last thing is confirming placement details and timelines. Like how long will it take for them to, have the link go live after of course, you write out the guest post. So writing out the guest post is very simple. You want to optimize the title. Again, if it's not domain level relevance, you want article level relevance, right? Follow the writing best practices. The goal basically is to make sure that the article is optimized as though you're trying to get it to rank, right? Because backlinks from pages with traffic are much more powerful than backlinks from pages without traffic, right? So there's domain traffic, which is really important. That's actually like one of the main filters, right? When you bet your backlinks. But then there's also article traffic or the page traffic. And if you can write a guest post that actually ranks and gets page traffic, it's going to be so much more powerful than a guest post on a page that's nothing any, right? Okay. So you want to write it as though you're trying to get it to rank. And, when it comes to the word count, article structure, etc., again, just try to write it as if you're trying to get it to rank. Okay. And the last thing is natural anchor placement. You want to be very careful with your anchor text. Don't use too much exact match anchors. You want to, again, vary it up, make exact match, partial match, generic, miscellaneous. Like we talk about all that actually in our training on guest posts and niche edits. It's very comprehensive. So again, if you want access to this, there's a link in the description. Join our school community. It's available on our school community, amongst other trainings. Actually, we have trainings on everything related to Shopify SEO, technical SEO, optimizing shopping pages, etc., blogging on Shopify, everything, complete course basically. And the link is below. Yeah. And yeah, that's it for now. That's the 8-step process on how to build powerful backlinks that actually move the needle, right? These backlinks will improve your rankings, increase your traffic, and actually generate revenue. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for listening. Cheers.